Check. 1 2 1 2. Vader Games in the building. Apologies. I know I'm late. Apologies. Um, we're here. All right. This Vader Games TV. If you happen to be new to the channel, subscribe. If you've been here before, get in the comments. If you like what you're hearing, what you're seeing, hit that like button. All right. I'm Vader Games of the Vader Games TV. This is the newest episode of 115. 115. And it happens to be one question, 50 minutes. Today's question. You see it right there. Today's question: why Rodri deserves to be Ballon d'Or winner? Why he deserves to be Ballon d'Or winner? And you know what I'm actually going to do? I don't know if he's awake right now. I'm going to get into the group chat right now. Let me send this link out. I'm going to send the link out to a Real Madrid fan. All right, I'm going to put him on the spot. But let me put this out there. I'm going to actually put it into the GC and see what happens. I'm talking Ballon d'Or. Let me at if you are free, join talking Ballon, small d apostrophe or Ballon d'Or. All right. Apologies for my lateness, my tardiness, but I want to thank each and every one of you for being on the show right now. What I do every show, I acknowledge the person to be in the comments first. I do that. You take the time to actually comment on my show. You take the time to actually be a part of it. And I got to shout you out. I got to show that respect. So today's show, actually, let me take this off screen. I shouldn't have this on there. Today's show in particular, let me go to the comments and let me point out Nick in the building. Nick goes, hey, big up, large up, my guy. Thanks for being a part of the show. And also, my dude Ray had to point out that I was late. Yes, I was late. But I'm here. Good looking out, everybody in the chat. Now, you got to deal with this. I'm going to start the clock. You see, I got other topics that I'm going to go through. These other topics are going to get adjusted throughout the year. But I'm going to speak because I honestly believe that this is between Vinicius Jr. and Rodri. I don't think there's any other contestant. I don't think there's anyone. I heard Cavani. They tried to bring up Cavani. I think that's a stretch. Yes, he won league. He won Champions League. And yes, he won because he plays for Spain. He won Euros. But I don't think he was that integral. I don't think he was that integral with the whole thing. Let me shout out my man, Nick. Rodri just deserves it. No further explanation. Nick, I agree with you. But let me put some stats out. Let me put some information out there so that when everybody goes out to vote, when everybody goes out to have the conversation, when everybody's fighting against those that are trying to say Rodri does not deserve it, we've got that ammo. So let me put this on screen. Let me go to the studio mode. Let me put this. Let me adjust this as well. So, and I'm hoping that this shows up well on the screen. I didn't want to make it full screen, and maybe I should. Let me adjust this. The magic of some editing here. Let me adjust that. Yeah, I think that works well, and hopefully I'm still good on the microphone. So these stats here in particular, I want to really emphasize. And for those of you that don't happen to know which player this is, hopefully it's showing up well. This is Vinicius. This is Vinicius Jr. All right, he had a great season. Not taking anything away from it, right? But we're gonna go into the details. We're gonna go into the facts because I don't want anything left to chance. This is why Rodri deserves to be Ballon d'Or winner. But let's point out what Vinicius did. And if it's not too clear, I'm gonna speak to it. All right. So in La Liga, which is the bread and butter, which is the majority of what your season consists of, right? You in your domestic league, trying to have the impact, trying to get the results, right? Vinny last season played in 26 matches. Vinny played in 26. It's good. It's a good amount. Probably some injuries there. He obviously didn't have to carry the team with the majority of some of the praise, a lot of the praise going over to Jude throughout the season. But he also had Cruz. He also had Modric. He had he had a quality squad. We can't take anything away from Real Madrid. They got a quality squad. And again, same thing. Let me start this clock. Actually, my bad. I meant to do this. And we've got a quality squad over here at Manchester City. So don't get it twisted. But he only played 26 games. Now, if we do the same thing with comparison to Rodri, let me adjust that a little bit. This is Rodri, by the way. You can see Rodri now. He played 34 games. Vinicius 26, Rodri 34. All right, so Rodri was more of the Iron Man, more available for his club, put in more with regards to the bread and butter, the domestic league. Rodri was there, more impressive in my opinion, right? And we also know that when Rodri played, Manchester City did not lose. All right, so it's important distinction. Edge, Rodri, 34. Okay, 26. Vinicius. Vinicius had 15 goals and 6 assists. All right, that's quality. I mean, I don't think that was a fantastic season for him. Obviously, he was like the attacking option, and Ancelotti centered a lot of the attack around him as Jude. But then we look at Rodri, a 6, defensive midfielder, holding midfielder, 8 goals. It's not that far off for such an attacking player. 15 versus 8. Again, I gotta give the nod. I gotta give the nod to Rodri in terms of what he was able to do from that positional play as well. You know what I mean? I gotta give that distinction. I gotta point out Rodri. Assists again. Vinicius had 6. Okay, Vinicius had 6. Rodri had 9. Again, Rodri's doing a lot more in the domestic league that we got to point out here. And then we look at the yellow cards now. Vinicius 7, playing less games. Rodri 8. Um, that's not really going to be a factor. Let's be real. Now, Champions League. Champions League, Rodri was able to play in 38. He had 1 goal, 3 assists. Vinicius played in 10. Obviously, they eliminated us through penalties, by the way. Through penalties, they advanced. So they played in additional games, and he had 6 goals, 5 assists. All right. Now, they ended up winning the Champions League, not taking that away from them. But when we look at um, Super Copa, we got the FA Cup assist for us. He had 3 goals. Copa del Rey, he showed up once, didn't register a goal. And then we look at Rodri. And we wait. Oh, World Cup. Oh, I knew I was going to get this call. Apologies. Let me put myself on mute for a second. Much apologies. I got the call, family call. I got to deal with it. My apologies. When you get all right, full transparency. Had a had a difficult couple weeks. I don't know if I said it on this particular show. I've definitely said it on the channel. But I had a family member pass away, sister-in-law, to be exact, and now there's like there should always be this emphasis, but when you get a call, um, whether you talk every day, um, whether you talk every day or it's just out of the blue to accept it. So I had to accept that call, and I apologies to those of you obviously waiting for me to talk more on the show. But I know the clock was still running. I will get back to it now. Everybody that actually joined recently with the comments, let me shout you out. The girl RK in the building, she goes, "Is it me or is the audio not on?" It's not you. The audio kind of, you know what? I'm gonna have to find. I'm gonna have to find like a prop to be like Vader or the the show will resume shortly, just on a call. But no, my apologies for that. Nick goes, the votes come from the head journalists of every country. Yeah, I know. But it's disappointing because some of them are biased. In recent years, Ballon d'Or became like a popularity contest. Nick, that's exactly right. But I think we know that these journalists, as much as they try not to be, they're heavily influenced with the sway, with the wave of us, the readers, of us, the people that are consuming the sport and speak on it and interact and put comments in the at the end of their articles, at some of their whatever their posts, right? So they are very reactionary to it, and not that they're like politicians to go with whatever flow things happen to be, but if there is such a strong push of fans, are local to them or not, that are saying this deserves to be the winner, it's them. So yeah, so I think we have an influence, and I think we definitely need to keep the word out. The girl arcade, thank you so very much. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you as well. Thank you as well. And again, I try to keep some of those matters very separate because we're here to talk football. You know, we're here to interact as fans. Um, City fans, ops or not, you know, that's what we do. So I try to keep it balanced. But let me get back to this. Because of the influence, as was mentioned by Nick, and the votes that come through, we need to push this as much as we can, even if it's just a retweet, even if it's just a like, even if it's just a comment on whatever platform you happen to be on, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, X, YouTube. We should all do our part, right? Right. Even if you don't happen to be a Manchester City fan, you're a football fan, and deservingly, Rodri, who's still on the screen here, deserves it. Now he's played in 50 total games this season. All right, he played in 50. Let me show you what Vinicius did. Vinicius played in 39. Vinicius played 3,000 plus minutes. Rodri played 4,000. If we just want to look at the contribution to the world of football, to the sport, to the season, who had the more impactful, who had the more engaging, who was that guy for the majority of the season? That guy for the majority of the season, it's it's Rodri. And I know I know it's about to be something. If he gets the vote, it's going to be something unprecedented. It's going to be a Manchester City player winning Ballon d'Or. I think the biasness, all hopefully everyone puts that aside. Like Nick mentioned, journalists put that aside. But last season, I pushed really hard for Holland to do it. He did something unprecedented. He did something absolutely amazing based off of the season that he had. I know internationally he didn't quite have that same impact, and that's why it matched up, or that's why it didn't match up well with Messi, because Messi won the World Cup. But this year, with Rodri and what he did, club, country with Euros, deserves it. Deserves it. Let me also point something out here. Rodri's not a goal scoring machine. He's not. But in a season where he was needed because there was no KDB for 2 months and there was no Holland. Sorry, there's no KDB for 5 months and there was no Holland for 2 months. Yes, for the domestic season, there was a lot of praise for Foden because of what Foden had to do. But at the same time, we were all saying Rodri needs to play. Rodri plays, we win. And Rodri played and we won. Rodri played and we won the 4-peat. So when we look at Rodri, when we look at Vinny and Carvalho, I'm not hearing it. Real Madrid fans, I'm not hearing it. I don't want to hear it. You can try and build the case. Will, when we link up, we'll talk about this. But I think even Will would admit, and he's a Real Madrid fan. Shout out to him. We link up on American Waffle. But Will, you got to put your bias aside. Will, you got to look at the entire season, and you got to admit to yourself, because that Copa del Rey that Vinny had was stinky. It was stinky. The performance wasn't there. And even with regards to the World Cup or the Copa del Rey, you had Brazilian legends say they don't want to watch that type of football. They don't want to watch the quality of what that national team happens to be. That Copa del Rey was stinky for Vinny. And I think that should also weigh heavy on why Rodri should be Ballon d'Or winner because of the Euro win. Now, look out for future shows. Maybe how I'm going to end some shows, I'm going to include a little compilation of Rodri. I think that might be my way of keeping him top of mind for everyone. Obviously, you guys tuning in, you know Rodri's that guy. I want to ask you guys this, actually. Jordan in the building. Hey, bro, what it do? You know what it is. 2 Jordans. He says he's shouting out Nick as well. Now, I'm going to take this off screen, and I want to ask, because we're going to have to do this breakdown. Squad for squad, I think we're going to have to go into detail. If it doesn't happen on this channel, maybe it happens over at Pitch Points. Maybe it happens over at True City Fan. But I think for 50 minutes, we might have to break down squad for squad, Manchester City, Arsenal, and Liverpool, because I think it's going to be a battle of fitness. It's going to be a battle of experience to keep everyone fired up, hungry to close out this year and to win this title. Jordan wants to say, sorry, I'm live later today for Germany, Hungary. Watch along, bro. Oh, good looking out. I will. Ooh, I might trap. I'm local, so I'll tune in. I'll catch you on that watch. I'll catch you and hopefully be in the comments for that watch along. And everybody, if you haven't subscribed, do the damn thing. Go subscribe, support the channel. It's all love. Now, I'm gonna have to do a squad breakdown, and it's gonna be as I take down this Rodri, why Rodri deserves to be Ballon d'Or. I'm gonna add a squad breakdown, because I think, as confident as we may be, and I see a lot of City fans. You saw Mancini away. He said, referred to him as treble father. I was like, it's so early, man. 3 games in, but there's a lot of confidence amongst the City fans. I think I want to do a squad breakdown. I want to do a squad breakdown because there is, hear me out, there is some vulnerability. There is some vulnerability when we look at Rodri because he's absolutely amazing. Yes, we can make do with whether it's going to be Gundogan or Kovacic, um, but we've got him in particular, and we've got Holland. Those are the areas that I'm of great concern. I see Zane in the building. Zane goes, in my opinion, a Spanish defender who plays for Real Madrid. Zane, what are you doing? What are you doing, Zane? In your opinion, you know what? Where's the LOL? Where are the laughing emojis? Because you can't be serious, Zane. We've been talking way too long over my channel. The, come on. In your opinion, a Spanish defender who plays for Real Madrid deserves to win Ballon d'Or. You're terrible. And actually, you know what? I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. You're trying to set things up so in the future you can see Trent getting a Ballon d'Or at right back. Get out of here. I'm not going with you. Nick goes Yodo Jordan. Now, I'm going to have that conversation because I think we're going to need that conversation to go squad for squad. So look for that in future shows. My last show, which was done last night on Why Always Me, great show, great interaction. I do need to do the timestamps, but I like that it's not there because there's a flow to the show. There's a flow to the show, the comments as well. You can see based off of my timer as well how I deal with each topic. So I don't think it's always necessary to have that timestamp because you can drag your finger, you drag your cursor, you can see where I'm at conversation wise. But please check out the last show and subscribe if you haven't. Now, if there happens to be a bonus show of CIA and CIA relaunched. If you didn't catch it, if you guys aren't following me on Twitter X, please do so. It's VatorgamesTV or it's Vator Games. I think it's Vator Games TV. No, it's Vator Games. Follow me on Twitter X, Vator Games. Okay, that's when I announced some of the shows upcoming. This 115 wasn't posted, but you know what it is. I relaunched CIA Intelligent Agendas. I had a fantastic panel. I had Professor Hamza, I had G Certified, I had Ryan. These are all heavy hitters, and I had Gundalorian, another heavy hitter who has been on the show before. But the three names that I mentioned were new faces. So I'm looking to do a lot more with regards to content, but I do want to ask you, actually take the time right now because I can't really, I'm not going to do a poll. I'm not going to do a community. Let me ask you in the chat, please. Those of you that are here right now. When do you like to watch something live? So if you can tell me, when do you like to watch something live? Is it morning? Is it your afternoon? Is it evening? Like whether it's throughout the workday, do you like to listen to it morning wise, afternoon, or evening? And when do you like to watch something kind of like on the rerun, on the replay, right? You didn't catch it live. When do you like to watch it just playing it back? Can you answer those two questions for me? I'm very, very, very interested in learning that. Zane goes, still crazy how DMs and defenders don't get the applause because last one to win was Cannavaro. That's hey, the fact that here's the thing. The fact that there's so much praise on goal scoring and attacking play, and obviously the game isn't one dimensional like that, right? The game isn't just on the attacking side. But I agree with you, Zane. Defenders is really tough. And I think, actually, shout out to your boy. I think Van Dijk, did he finish second or third? And deservingly so, because that was a season where the previous year you'd won Champions League, and the next year you guys flew out the gate and won the league. But I think, yeah, second or third is the highest voting. It's somewhat disappointing, especially because even with how the pundits, even with how the game's analyzed, there's not much praise. And I actually say this. I say this within many previews where I'm like, listen, I want to see a defensive, not necessarily defensive, but I want to see like a tactical gritty, even if it's 0-0, who's able to defend better. I like to see that. I like to see that. Jordan goes mornings. So Jordan, can you mornings where you like to watch something live, or mornings when you like to maybe catch something on the replay? Because I know that I'm dealing with a 5-hour time zone difference, but I do want to play around and have shows at different times consistently, right? So if I can consistently have my CIA on Thursdays at 3 my time, which is 8 p.m. UK time, I'd like to do something like that. If I can hit you with a Friday with a Why Always Me, and that's obviously that's 6 my time, 11 over the UK. I just want to try and hit a balance of consistency, so y'all can just know when Bitter Games TV is going and to interact. Now, let me be honest with you, Ray and everybody in the building. I was looking to do this show at 8. I didn't realize that I had to drop my daughter off at dance, which made it for a conflict. But 8 a.m. for me would mean that that's 1 p.m. for you guys in the UK. I think Saturday that might be. Well, actually, it only works because it's international play. During the season, that's not going to work. Jordan says both. Okay, I hear you. I hear you. But during the season, that's not going to work. But that's another thing. Oh my gosh, I'm rambling. I'm all over the place. But let me say this. Okay. All right. Let me adjust. The funny thing is, there's going to be games every 3 days. So there's going to be so many games that I'm going to have to find when to actually slot the content, because in addition to kind of preparing for a show, I'm also watching football in addition to the work life day. But it's going to be interesting. Jordan goes, I'm from Belgium, so I'm an hour later than the. Oh, okay. Okay. Good looking out, Jordan. Now, from Belgium. Did you catch the international game? You see KDB and you see Doku. Did you see what let me know what you thought. So I've got homework. I know I'm off. I'm gonna shut down the show soon, and I have an outro. Please check out the outro before I do. All right, check out the outro in the comments while the outro is playing. Let me know what you think. Let me know even suggestions. I love suggestions in terms of how to adjusting things. But I want to say I'm going to find consistency with regards to when I want my shows to hit, especially from a panel show. A panel show is going to have to be consistent. My Why Always Me, which has been a show that gets so much support and love, and I really like that. That's the show I want to do. And then my linking up with the ops. Citizens Neighborhood Watch is going to be coming through, and those are going to be more of the one-offs, and this 115 are more of the one-offs as well. But thank you all for being in the comments. Thank you all for letting me know what kind of works from a timing standpoint, and know that I'm going to have that schedule out there to be a lot more consistent. What Jordan has to get. Jordan goes, I like the result, but I think we need a better coach. I don't think Tedesco is good enough. I can understand that. The fact that I think the players and the consistency can be good. This over hype or over exaggeration of like not being effective or the golden era and all that kind of stuff. Let's be honest. There's a lot of quality in Europe. It's not easy to win, but the difference is quality of coach and the approach with regards to using that talent to its fullest. So I hear you. These international breaks, it's good because it allows us to think a lot about this upcoming season. And I'm curious to know what you think in the chat. And this is actually going to be a topic for the 115 is, do you agree or disagree with the number of games that players are committed to, whether it's club and international? That's going to be one of the questions I'm going to do within the 115. Good looking out to everybody. I'm VatorgamesTV. This was the newest episode of 115. One question, 15 minutes. Rodri deserves Ballon d'Or. He deserves it over Vinny. Vinny had a good season. Vinny, your club won a lot. But did it really come down to you? Were you that key figure, that key player for Real? I can't say yes to that, but I can say yes when it comes down to Rodri. Now I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this intro. Hope you enjoy it. Please be a part of the next show and catch me next time on VatorgamesTV 115, and we're out.